Hey, welcome back. This is episode 79 of the Part-Time Players podcast. This is a video game podcast where three pals this week discuss the week's video game news of the week. My name is Reece and I am joined as always by Bradley Seeley.
Hello, I'm Bradley Seeley. I've got my dogs with me, so they're probably going to bark.
I know, I was anticipating that you wouldn't answer because you was on mute. I was thinking, oh no, it's going to be a pause.
If I'm not talking, I'm probably going to mute because I just don't want me or anyone else to get deafened by their annoying barks. So.
Yeah. Occasionally when I do listen to our episode and they do come in, it's like a, and I'm like, oh shit, does make me jump.
They just like to get involved, but they're just
It's for the listeners to keep them on their toes, just in case you like switching off because we're boring you. It's just that
the little bark, to Jake. Oh no!
Oh yeah, shit.
Yeah. So I will do my best to. I'll play the mute button. Fast today, so hopefully it won't get too much.
Okay. And also joining us again is Mark. How you doing, mate?
Hello guys, you all right? Yeah, not too bad. Yourself?
Yeah, good. Been playing much between last time you've been on and now?
Yeah, I have. So I think the last time I spoke, I was partway through Guardians of the Galaxy. Finished that. That was pretty good.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah, really quite impressed with that. And I've actually gone back to. For ages, I've been saying I need to finish The Witcher 3. Whereas I haven't touched that for a long time, so I started it again, and I've been playing quite a lot of that for the last week or so.
You didn't want to wait for the next gen upgrade? It's supposed to be coming Q2 this year.
No, I'm not fussed.
No,
I'm not fussed. No, there's too much. If I wait for that, I'll put it off for another year. So I'll never get to it.
Fair enough. Are you one of the people waiting for Cyberpunk next gen upgrade, or are you not going to touch it?
No, I think I paid for it, so I'm gonna. I'm definitely gonna go back to that when it doesn't run like absolute shit on my Xbox. But I'm actually looking forward to that because I think that game it had so much hype and potential, and it really disappointed. And when I think back to actually The Witcher 3, like that didn't run great when that came out. And CD Projekt Red, they were dedicated to that for quite some time and still are. So, I think I'll go back to that when I can enjoy it.
Have you seen the specs? So they did get leaked in terms of the difference between PS5 and Series X. Have you seen those?
No, I haven't.
No. So the Xbox version is actually a lot better than the PS5 version, which is annoying for me. So ray tracing is only on Xbox, and it's only native 4K on Xbox as well. So it's going to look probably a lot better on Series X than it is on PS5.
And what about the Series S?
Yeah, I don't know about that. I imagine it's going to be 30 frames. It won't be native 4K. It'll be like reconstructed.
I've spoken about it before. My favorite
dynamic is the word they use. Dynamic 4K. That's what it is on.
My preferred platform to play Witcher 3 is, as we all know, the Nintendo Switch. What's going to be like on that bad boy?
Does it even reach 20 frames? Is what I want to know.
Listen, I'm not saying that when there was a lot of enemies on screen, there was quite a lot of
shuttering.
But it just kind of, I thought, it just enhanced the experience. So I was all right with
5 frames per second really is the benchmark.
Yeah, like Geralt swinging like, what can I say?
If only we had a video version, that would have been brilliant.
That would have been good. Yeah, I just realised no one can see that. I'm used to. So.
Perfect. Illustrated perfectly on the podcast.
I really want to play Witcher 3 again, but I am waiting for the update. And hopefully it's coming in this summer.
Yep.
And I'll probably have to start again because I got a lot better. I got really good at the game when I was playing the Nintendo Switch, and when I had my PlayStation playthrough, I wasn't looking back now, like the weapons and the armor and the quests I hadn't done. I was pretty crap, so I probably will go back and do it again on the PlayStation.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to jump back in. When it releases.
I will do everything exactly the same though, because
of course you will. Of course you will.
I won't romance Yennefer. I'll be a Triss. I'll choose a Triss.
Oh, I was both.
Yeah.
You're not both?
No.
Are you not? What are you, Mark?
I believe the first time round I was definitely both. I think this time I'm probably just going to go the same route. I believe.
Yeah.
I'm that's like Mass Effect. Like I've done exactly the same. When I played Mass Effect Legendary, I done exactly the same as what I did when I played it years ago. So why change?
I remember you saying that, yeah.
Yeah, why change a winning formula?
Yeah.
So that's kind of guy I am.
In all honesty, I really can't remember what I did, because it was, I think I played through quite a lot of it when it came out, and that was what, 2015? Is it 2015? Jesus, yeah. So 7 years ago.
2015, yeah.
Yeah. I think I killed Kira Metz.
Oh, don't kill Kira Metz, because she can help fight in the battle for Kaer Morhen.
Well, yeah, I think I did that.
Oh, see, spoilers for a 2015 game. I don't. If you don't save Kira Metz, there's a chance that Lambert will die in the battle for Kaer Morhen as well. I think.
I don't even think I got. I don't think I got that far in my first playthrough. I genuinely can't remember where I got to.
Is this from the first one to go onto the second one? Is that what you're talking about? Mass Effect.
Oh no, so we're back to The Witcher now.
Oh, I was going to say
Kira Metz is in The Witcher.
Okay.
She's a witch.
Because I was thinking, I don't remember that in Mass Effect.
Yeah, it was Kira Metz.
Yeah,
Lambert?
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, but I'm waiting for it, and I will go back. I'm looking forward to going back to it.
Okay.
I was so close last week to installing Jedi Fallen Order again. I didn't get around to it. Did play a little bit of Spider-Man. I'm chipping away at that. So.
Oh, nice. How far are you?
I don't really know how far. I've got to go meet you've got to meet your friend in a church, I think.
Okay.
So I don't know how far that is, but I'm trying to do all the side quests and the crimes as they pop up. I'm trying to do them.
Sure.
So yeah.
You still going for plat or just completion?
I want to go for the plat, but I think I'll end up just doing the story and then maybe come back to it at some point, because I want to move it. I want to move on. You know.
Sure. Yeah, it's hard to go back.
Yeah, I know.
It's hard to go back. Although it's quite short. It's quite an easy plat if you do all the things as you go along.
Yeah.
Like what you did with
the original
Ghost.
one. Yeah, Ghost and the original Spider-Man done it all as we go along. But yeah, no, it's good. But yeah, we can talk about what we've been playing.
Yeah, absolutely. Have you played it, Mark? I don't know if you've ever said you played the Spider-Man or Miles.
Yeah, no, I haven't played Miles, but I fully completed Spider-Man when it first came out.
Okay.
Yeah. No, love the game. I do want to play Miles at some point, but big fan.
Definitely worth picking up. It's brilliant. But yeah. Anyway, go like and subscribe to the podcast wherever you do listen to it. Obviously, we're on all podcast platforms. Please 5-star reviews on Apple Podcasts would be really, really appreciated. And we should pop up on YouTube. Hopefully, if Podbean allows us to. Some weeks it does, some weeks it doesn't, depending on when we upload it. But obviously, please go. What?
I was going to say one quick thing about Spider-Man. I think it's a travesty that it didn't get nominated for Best Picture at the Oscars, because that was everyone agrees that was an amazing film, and the reviews for it are amazing, and but because it's not, I don't know, fucking art house and all that shit, they don't. I know the Oscars don't, don't really matter, but it's just kind of a slap in the face to people who do like those films. And
pop culture,
if it's not a wanky film about, I don't know, love or something, I don't know, but it's just, I just don't.
Didn't Suicide Squad, not the newer one, like the crap one, didn't that win like an Oscar award for like best, like, I can't remember what the award was. It was like best not soundtrack or animation, or maybe, I don't know. There was something. It was really random, and he just won a category.
Bad films just always win it. The only good mainstream film that's ever won a decent amount of Oscars is Lord of the Rings: Return of the King. That won 11 Oscars, and that deserved it. But
apparently, it won best hair and makeup.
There you go. I know it won on something random, but
it was nominated.
It's an Oscar-winning movie. That film, unbelievable.
Oh no, it was just nominated. It didn't win, and it won best sound. It won best soundtrack. It was nominated for best hair and makeup, and also top soundtrack.
It won something. I know it won something. I can't remember what.
Yeah,
there you go.
Bad times.
No, it was nominated for best film.
Oh, exactly. See, that Spider-Man hasn't even been nominated. You know what I mean?
There's a lot of different awards it's been chucked into, but
I think Don't Look Up got nominated. That the asteroid film on Netflix.
Okay.
It was all right. I quite, that was an all right film, but it wasn't as good as Spider-Man.
I'm impartial to that film. I thought it was way overhyped.
It was overhyped, but I didn't mind it. Mainly, I don't know, probably because Jennifer Lawrence is in it, and I like Jennifer Lawrence, but and Leonardo DiCaprio, I like his films. But yeah, I don't know. Spider-Man should have been there for me. But anyway, enough Oscar talk.
I was very quickly Spider-Man, amazing film. However, I'm pretty sure if I go back and watch that, I'm going to find the first half of the film quite slow.
Maybe, yeah.
If you really think about like the fan service kicks in when I don't really want to spoil. Well, surely everyone that's going to watch it has seen it by now. But when the other Peters turn up, that's when the film just. I don't think I blinked from that point until the film ended.
You were like crying, your eyes were watering.
Yeah, but thinking back, the whole bit around getting into university or college, and running around trying to sort out other bits and pieces before all of that would probably feel quite slow because I know what I'm waiting to happen.
Yeah, Mark's just sitting there like, oh my God, I don't care about MIT. Where's the other Spider-Man? I want them. Yeah. I was like,
you knew they were coming as well because there's so many rumors, and I saw the leaked images beforehand, so I kind of ruined it for myself. I think you did the same, right, Mike? Did you? Mark. Did you see the leaked images before?
I did, yeah. I did see the leaks. One leak I didn't see that I'd heard of, but wasn't sure it was going to happen was Charlie Cox appearing.
As
Daredevil.
I heard that one as well.
Oh God, sorry.
That was I was going to say, and that I think that was just as the other two Spider-Men popping up.
That for me was the bit.
I was hoping at the end he would turn up as Daredevil, and have some kind of moment, maybe where that moment when MJ kind of falls, and obviously it is Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man saves her, which is nice for him, but I kind of was hoping it was Daredevil. I don't know, just someone who would just turn up.
That bit, I was like smiling like a child. I was like, oh my God. I was like so excited. And I was with my wife and she don't know. She was just like, is this good? Like, it's just
kind of an emotional moment with Spider-Man, isn't it? When Gwen falls at Clock Tower.
Oh, no, I was talking about the Daredevil bit. I was talking about the Daredevil bit. I was just like, oh my God. Yeah. So when he just catches that thing, he's like, how did you catch that? He's like, I'm a really good lawyer.
Yeah. This is now the Spider-Man No Way Home podcast for this week.
This is what and talking about
part-time Spider-Man.
They're taking it all off Netflix, like Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Defenders, everything. They're all coming off Netflix soon as well now.
Yeah, the contract's up, right?
Contract's up, yeah.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I really liked Daredevil when I watched it first. I've never rewatched them. So I don't mind, whatever.
Maybe we could talk about it at the end, but I would like to talk about Boba Fett. Have you all seen the finale?
Yeah.
Have you seen the finale, Mark? You been watching it?
I haven't. I might jump off when you talk about that.
Yeah. All right, we won't. No, we can leave it. We can
save it,
it's
cool.
Wow.
It's cool.
Oh, so you think wow?
You think you don't?
I think meh.
Really?
Yeah, I think not surprised.
I think it's one of the best series of TV up there ever. I've loved it.
The best one of the best TV series of all time. The Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah,
you need to switch off, mate. You need to have a word with yourself because you're dizzy.
No, I've loved it. It's one of the best Star Wars things. I don't know. It's hit all the marks.
Angry Brad's about to turn up.
This is what we have to. Reece is always the optimist, and I'm always the pessimist. And I'm just like, everything's rubbish. We're all gonna die.
No, this will be the most perfect time to talk about how good Last of Us Part 2 was.
This is like Mark's not allowed on the podcast no more.
Yeah. Where are you, Sam? Mark? Are you positive or negative so far?
No, I'm really enjoying it. I prefer The Mandalorian, but I'm enjoying it. I think my relationship with Star Wars as of the past few years has been up and down. The films have been disappointing.
Sure.
Mandalorian has really sort of saved that for me, but I think that's more Jon Favreau. I think I think Disney should just give him more projects to run with because he
does everything, right? He kicked off Marvel and now he's doing this.
Yeah. So it was actually the Daredevil film with Ben Affleck that he was in. He was not Happy Hogan. He was his mate. He was Daredevil's mate in that. And
what's his name? I can't remember what his name is.
Yeah, Foggy
Nelson.
Yeah, and it was through just being a fanboy talking to Kevin Feige during the filming of that that Iron Man became a thing.
Yeah,
but he's just probably the most influential fanboy right now in Disney and Star Wars, and Disney just need to let him run with things.
Yeah. How much is he worth to
Oh,
them?
it's
Like, you think the Marvel setting all that up and now almost maybe bringing back Star Wars to its like priceless, right? Priceless, that guy to him.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree. Mandalorian was the beginning of Star Wars going in the right direction for me. And I guess for me, in my mind, it's kind of almost intrinsically tied to the Book of Boba Fett, because I don't know how far you are in it, but obviously there is crossover. And I just think this, particularly the latter episodes, once Mandalorian does come in it, are some of the best episodes of Star Wars, or some of the best hours I've seen in Star Wars since Empire Strikes Back. Like, that's the level that is at for me.
Yeah,
and maybe Rogue One and Empire Strikes Back are my two favorite movies, and those episodes are up there with that.
Really I mean, don't get me wrong. There were some episodes of Mandalorian that I'm never gonna go back and watch.
There's some filler ones, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but by and large, the I'm happy with the direction that that they're going with Star Wars with the TV shows anyway.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what is a really good TV show: Superman and Lois. Really good.
All right. Let's not talk about another TV show. Video games. News story number one. I don't know if everybody switched off now. I was like, I thought this was a video game podcast. You promised us that at the beginning.
Yeah, I would put a timestamp in, but it's because it like starts the countdown starts as soon as we come on. So I
we were talking like 25 minutes, maybe half an hour. So maybe like 20 minutes into this episode. The first 20 minutes we've been talking about.
I'll put that in the note in the show notes.
Yeah.
That 20-minute mark. Yeah. Okay. Sure. Yeah. Video games. Hate them.
You hate them?
Yeah.
All right. News story number 2. News story number 1. I'm going to keep talking about Destiny until I annoy everybody. Until the Witch Queen finally comes out on the 22nd of Feb. It's kind of, I can't wait for it. I think it's quite clear that their plans for Destiny 3 have almost like coming into this expansion so much more. You can just tell. And one of the things I want to touch on is one of the things I'm most excited for, which they were probably going to do with the next Destiny, and that's Void 3.0, or all the light abilities 3.0. And they're basically changing how you use your powers and how you basically make your builds. So as it is now, I don't know if everybody's ever played Destiny, but you have like a diamond system, and you basically choose from the tree. You have a middle tree, top tree, bottom tree, and basically each tree basically has a super, a melee ability, and then 2 almost like passive buff abilities. And they're basically changing it to the system, which is Stasis, where you basically have a different kind of menu system where you choose your super. So you can pick whatever super you want from that subclass. You then choose your grenade, and some grenades were basically locked behind a certain class, but now everybody has access to every single type of grenade, which is quite good. And then it has things called aspects and fragments. The aspects are basically powers and abilities, which are class specific. And they've basically taken a lot from the diamond system, but they've also added new ones. And it's just, I don't know, it's just opening up to a lot more, I don't know, variability in terms of your build and what you want to do. And I just can't wait for it to jump in. So the sign with Void, and then the next one we're going to get after that is Solar, and then they're going to do Arc afterwards. And they use certain terminology to describe different Void powers. So they have a thing called Suppress, Weaken, Volatile, Invisibility, Overhead Shield, and Devour. And these all do different things. And a lot of these things are kind of tied to depending on which class you are. So obviously, if you play Destiny, you know it's Hunters, Titans, Warlocks. And basically, Suppress is basically, it takes a target out of any active ability it's doing when suppressed. And while suppressed, targets cannot active any ability or movement moment. So you're basically, you kind of slowed down and you can't do anything. Weaken is basically targets take increased damage. So it's basically a debuff. Bungie have confirmed in an interview that's going to be actually 15% debuff, which is quite high. Volatile is basically targets explode once they've been die from void damage. Invisibility is kind of obvious. You go invisible. Overshield is once again quite obvious. You get an overshield. And Devour is whenever you kill an enemy, which is more of a warlock thing, you basically get your health and ability basically regen a little bit quicker, which is also quite a cool thing. I want to touch on the aspects for each class. So Titans, so they have a controlled demolition thing, which basically you hit targets with a void ability or volatile detonation, which makes them volatile. So hitting any target or enemy with any void ability basically makes them explode. Bastion is basically you cast this barricade, generates an overshield, which is quite cool. They've got this like new animation where you have your shield and you slam it down and you have like this purple overshield over you. So you basically have a shield. It's quite cool. And then the last one is offensive hallmark, which is while you have your overshield or inside a water door, which is the super, that's like a bubble, your grenade charges generate faster, as well as your increased melee damage as well. So you can see how there's like symmetry between you having obviously the overshield and then it obviously procs the other aspects. Similar to the hunters, which is my class that I generally use. So you have a thing called Trapper's Ambush. So basically players activate a thing called Quickfall, where you slam into the ground. And when you do that, you basically have a puff of smoke and you go invis, and any enemies around you basically become weakened, which is quite cool. Vanishing Step, which is dodge on a hunter, makes you go invisible, which is a thing that we've already got. And then you've got a thing called Stylish Executioner, which is defeated void. Debuff targets basically grants invisibility and true sight, and while invisible and after stylish execution, your next melee attack weakens enemies. So I can see there's a lot of, once again, symmetry where you can have basically that Trapper's Ambush where you basically slam into the ground, you weaken the enemy, you then go invis, and then your next attack will eventually make you go invisible again. So you could probably do like a loop where you keep going invisible, like weakening enemies, and good symmetry. So I think there's a lot to play with. And then lastly, Warlocks is they've got a thing called Chaos Accelerant, which is you hold down your grenade button to overcharge your grenade. And if you use the magnetic grenade, you can actually turn it into a handheld supernova. Once again, they've got quite a new animation with that, where it's almost like a Dragon Ball Z, like a thing, and you like push this void ball towards them. The other one is Feed the Void. Defeating an enemy with a void ability basically activates Devour, which is obviously you absorb their health and voice. And then the last one is Child of the Old Gods, where you actually summon this little void soul, a bit like Arc Soul, where you have this little ball thing that follows you around. And what that actually does is when you shoot an enemy, it travels towards it and it actually basically drains their health and gives you your health back and stuff like that. So depending on which rift you're standing in. So there's a lot of things you can do with it. And then crossing it with some of the fragments that you can add to it, I can see there's going to be a lot of fun builds. They also did touch on in an interview that they're also changing a few exotics that are void based to then also add to some of the abilities and things like that. So I can't wait to jump in and start playing around with the classes, because there are some like things where you think, oh, I kind of like that ability, but I kind of want that super, or you want that grenade, and now you've got it all custom to do whatever you want. And so
do you think this will make people switch up? If you're like you always play a hunter, you start playing different classes.
Potentially, and you can cross over. There's apparently going to be some fragments or some ways where like a warlock could potentially go invisible, although that's more of a hunter ability. Obviously it's a lot easier for hunters to do. Like I said, you can probably go invis continuously, but there's going to be a lot of crossover with like the grenades and some of the abilities, but still each class has still got its own kind of role, if you know what I mean. The warlock is more like a healing and damage, where hunter is more, I don't know, survivability, where you can go invis and debuffing, because you can debuff enemies and stuff like that. So, and the Titan has like overshield and bubble and things like that. So it's more for like a protection thing also. So it's
us Titans, like we protect
us Titans.
Us Titans, we're just here to protect other people. That's what we do. So
What
game? What game are we talking about?
Destiny 2, mate. I don't know if you heard of it.
I get some of the stuff that you say then, but some of it it just goes over.
It goes over your head, yeah. No,
I don't play a lot of Destiny, as you know, so yeah. But anyone who does know Destiny will be like, oh, that's cool. It's really cool.
Yeah, I'm sure everybody knows Destiny's probably read all the stuff. They've given us so much information this week, and I can't wait. Another thing where we were stuck with that diamond system, like I said, you would have, and there was like 4 spots in the diamond system. So you have one would be for a super, one would be for a melee, and you only got 2 passives. Where now you're going to have a super grenade, and then you're going to have 2 aspects, which are 2 powers, and you get, I think you can pick from 4 fragments, so they're 4 passive abilities. So you're going to have more things active as well. So you're essentially going to be more powerful, and I don't know. It's going to be exciting.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Do you think? Do you think there are some people that are now just going to wait for the next Destiny? I mean, speaking for myself, I played Destiny 2 a fair amount when it first came out. I've gone back to it a couple of times, but I think it's quite difficult for a casual Destiny player to duck in and out. I know they do bits and pieces with the level system so that you can jump in and you're not so underpowered. But do you think people are now just going to wait until the next Destiny to jump back into Destiny?
I personally don't think there's going to be a new Destiny anytime soon, if not ever. Although a lot of people were saying that it could possibly be the case now after Sony bought Bungie. But given the vision that I think Bungie wants to do, where I think they want to become the new Blizzard, and they want this to be almost their World of Warcraft, and they want to turn it into an MMO, and that's what their transition has been since they left the Activision deal, was take it away from a looter which comes out every 3-4 years, which Activision wanted. They didn't want to do that. That is why they broke away from that deal, because they wanted it to be this ongoing MMO. I think they will probably, after this saga, which we've got after this one, we've got 2 more expansions. I think they might drop the 2 and it'll just be the Destiny. And maybe they'll have enough time to bring back all the stuff they vaulted, and it'll just be a lot of things from D1, all the stuff from D2, and it'll just be this massive MMO. I think that is probably the direction they would want to go in, particularly now they've changed the system, because before, and they mentioned it in the interview that I watched, where they were kind of, it was more difficult for them to add new powers because they had to create a whole diamond system, where now they can just add a fragment or an aspect or a power. And because it's all separated in a new menu, they can actually evolve it and add things as we go along so much more easier. So I think they're just going to add on what they've got here, because they've updated it enough now to make it feel like it is a new game. So that's what I see their direction, what they'll probably go in personally. I agree. It's so difficult for the new players to jump in. It's so difficult. I think they're trying to help it a lot by raising the level floor, so everybody starts at the same level. So if you jumped in at Witch Queen, you'll be at the same level as me and whoever's playing. But I think, although they have a lot of things with like New Light, and probably Brad can speak for that as someone who went through that experience more recently, where they do try to hold your hand, I think you probably do need to play with players that know what they're doing just to get it.
Yeah, I didn't find it as hard as I thought it'd be to get back in, and I was really enjoying it. But yeah, it did help having like you and Brad, like especially like the dungeons, because I even when you was doing it and I was playing along with you, I still had no idea what I was supposed to be doing. So yeah, the New Light introduces you to like obviously like your class, and there's levels like progresses the story, so you kind of know what's going on. And then you hear hints of like the previous like campaigns, like the original Destiny 2 campaign and whatnot. It's a really good introduction, but it does help if you play with players who've stuck with it all along, because you can get lost. Like we done, like the raids are kind of not raids. The strikes are kind of straightforward. It's just they're just levels from previous games, but dungeons, and I still haven't done a raid. I can imagine the raids are worse. You need someone there to show you, and to, well, in my case as well, definitely like carry me. You know, I was doing my best to help you and Brad, but I still, like you and Brad was actually quite nice about it. You know, Brad was like, "No, you done really well, because you was, you taking the, keeping the, like what they call
your job was ad clearing, and you did
ad clearing. You done a really good job and all that. But really, in the grand scheme of things, I was, But
if we did it more times, we could have done like a teaching run where we could have teach you like a role, and you would have known what we were doing in terms of like the mechanics or the puzzles.
Yeah,
that is the big thing with raids. You need to have like a teaching run,
Yeah.
And that's why it's almost good to jump in when a new raid comes out, because everybody's new and everybody's learning and when you get into like, I don't know, 6 months in, everybody kind of expects people to know their roles and what they're doing. And you do get dickheads, obviously, when you play online, and everyone's like, oh, you know what you're doing. Blah, blah. But when you're playing with mates, everybody understands. And you try to learn new things, so it's a bit different.
I'd play with mates rather than just go in on my own. I'd be like, I want to do a raid. I'm going to jump in with these, people, because people online are mean and they hurt me with their words. So,
I don't really play online with just randoms unless it's something that I really know what I'm doing. If I know all the roles, I know what I'm doing, I will jump in with randoms, and I've done that.
Yeah.
And it's actually a really good system. The LFG system, particularly now, cross plays in it.
Yeah.
You can play with Xbox PC people, and you get a team straight away, and you just join. And because it's all in game, you got chat in game and stuff. It's so seamless. You can always find activities to play with random people. So I've jumped in and tried to do like a raid or whatever, because I went like an exotic and I know what I'm doing. So I can just jump in, do my role, and I don't even need to speak to them. I'm not even in the chat.
Yeah.
Because I can just do my role and just done. So but when you're learning, it's so much better with friends. But that's my Destiny 2.
That's Destiny 2 chat this week. Yeah. It's
you ever thought about jumping back in, Mark?
Yeah, I think it's one of those ones where time for me playing games is difficult, like just with the kid. So I do want to get back into Destiny at some point. But it's on the list with a ton of other things that I want to try and accomplish and finish as well. Yeah,
no, absolutely. Particularly for you guys that really liked Halo back in the day. Obviously, I imagine you like the Bungie mechanics, and their gunplay is so good. So good.
The gunplay, the visuals, the game's stunning.
Yeah, they updated the HDR in the last month, and it looks incredible. It looks like as good as any PS5 game now. It looks really good.
Yeah, no, I do. I love the mechanics. I love the way the game feels. It's been a while since I've jumped into that. So having the time when I've got other bits and pieces that I want to try and play through as well is tricky. It's why I tend to go into games where it's like rounds based. I can play Rocket League. If I've got 20 minutes or half hour, I can do a few rounds of that. Whereas Destiny, you need a bit of time to sink into it.
Yeah, there's certain moments like when a new expansion comes out and everybody's at like that cap and you're all trying to get to the hard cap or pinnacle cap. Obviously, you get the hardcore people that are just dedicated their whole life. It's like a full-time job getting to that point. But it's not a big deal if you don't really want to chase that. Do you know what I mean? You can just take your time. It isn't that desire. It depends who you play with. I play with a lot of people that are like, we must get there as quick as possible. And you feel like you got to keep up. But like, you'll then get there and then you're like, oh, well, I'm here now. 4 months earlier than what I actually needed to be. Like, now what? You're there. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, you can play it a lot more casual than I think a lot of people think, because there is a lot of people that play it so hardcore. But yeah, no, it's certainly time consuming in certain moments if you want to keep up with people. And weapon crafting as well is coming in. That's going to be a game changer. The fact that you can craft and take your own roles, and it's not about RNG, with like getting random drops. You can actually, by using a gun, unlock its roles, so you can actually make the perfect weapon you want. I think that's brilliant as well. So I think there's the things that they probably wanted to introduce with Destiny 3, obviously updating the powers, updating weapon crafting, and it's going to feel like a completely new game. So can't wait. But anyway, what's your new story, Brad?
My new story is about Google Stadia, and it's dead. Well, it's on life support, and they're going to turn the machine off.
Don't do it.
So Google's did a little bit of history. Google Stadia launched in November 2019, and people were saying it launched far too soon. There was a lot of like features, and some people said like even like it was like pre-beta how they launched it. They should have like maybe waited off a little bit. So like the streaming side of it's got better, but it launched with missing features such as it didn't have achievements when it launched. There's no family share feature, which was a big thing I was promoting. It's at the moment it's not taking any more new AAA games. And it's looking to sell its streaming tech to someone else. So, like I say, the streaming tech has got a lot better, and it's I think it's like a lot better than like Nvidia do one, I think, do a streaming system, and it's better than the Xbox, because I've only dabbled with the Xbox one, but it wasn't great. There was a little bit of there are a few issues I come up with when I was playing God of War, Gears of War, sorry. So yeah, it's not looking good for Google Stadia, and it's just they're going to add it to the pile of other projects they've had, which they've just kind of bigged up and promoted, and then just thought, oh, actually no, sod it, just sling it on the.
So, question: when they say sell it, what they're going to sell the complete thing, or are they just selling licenses? A bit like what on like Unreal Engine kind of situation.
No, I think they're just they're getting out of it. They just want to.
See, I feel like they should do the Epic Unreal Engine thing where they kind of license out to like Sony or Nintendo or do you know what I mean? Like you gave us a certain thing, you can use our technology. To basically, do you know what I mean? Like that kind of.
They're doing something like that in America. They like with like, I don't know if it's broadband or whatnot. There's a company out there, AT&T, and they was letting their customers stream Arkham Knight. And then they come out and said, this is Google Stadia, like it's like Google technology.
Okay. Sure.
So, but to be fair, I don't know 100% whether they're looking to sell it as, like you say, a license or just a whole thing. Like I feel they're not taking any more AAA games because it's too expensive, which is a big red flag. And to be fair, when I first heard about it, I thought it was kind of going to be like a Netflix of gaming, where you could just play like the new games, that you pay a subscription and you could play the new games, but it wasn't like. So remember Assassin's Creed Valhalla, you had to buy Assassin's Creed Valhalla for full price, but you didn't have a physical copy, and like you didn't even have it as like you would on the PlayStation Store, where you've got you've got the it's only a license, but you kind of have something with Google Stadia. You bought the full game and then you could only stream it. There was nothing to download it onto. So for me, I was never really into Google Stadia. I thought I'm not going to, get this. It's kind of like what was the other system they bought out? It had like a weird name. No, I know it wasn't Google, but someone bought it out. It's like a little box.
Ouya,
yeah, that kind of Booyah, yeah, that kind of
Ouya. I don't remember that.
You don't remember that?
It wasn't a streaming service.
No, but it kind of didn't take off, did it? It kind of like.
Well, no, Ouya was a different thing. That was a Kickstarter back in 2013, I think.
I'm pretty sure. Did you have one?
No.
That's why Mark's offended it. He's still got one.
Look, it's the best console.
Yeah. No, it's so good. We know that.
That was a brilliant concept and just really badly executed. It was basically a mobile phone processor. I think it was an NVIDIA Tegra 3 or something. Oh. It was £99. It was basically a little Android box.
Okay.
What they promised, or what they showed off in their Kickstarter was not what happened. There was delays. There was quality issues. But that was a very different thing to Stadia. I think with Stadia, it's another thing. Like you said, it's another thing on the list of Google projects that have been dumped.
Yeah, and they push it, and some people who think, I've got to invest in this, and then they're just kind of a couple of years down the line, or this in November will be 3 years. They're just kind of like, we have nothing to show for that. It's
an odd one, because I think with streaming services, I think at some point they are going to be the future. I think the challenge right now is that just internet around the world,
connectivity,
that's the big issue, where gaming is so heavily reliant on fast response times, to the point where people will spend a lot of money on a monitor to get the best response times, to have that be such a crucial part of gameplay. If that isn't right, then it's not going to work very well. And my experience with Stadia and xCloud, or the Xbox streaming service, has been pretty good. I've got a fairly decent internet connection. It's not like it's not been perfect for those streaming services, but I've seen them get better. I think the thing with Stadia is it's struggled to find a USP that made it worth getting in. If they had exclusive games that you could only play on Stadia, I know there was a couple, but they weren't must-play games. If there was something, if they had a franchise where it became something that people wanted to play, then maybe it would have been a bit more successful. But to your point, what if I'm going to spend £60 or £70 on Assassin's Creed on a PlayStation, where I get the best sort of possible experience locally, or I can pay the same amount of money to not have a physical copy, to not own it in a digital library. I think, why would someone do that? What's the incentive? What's the incentive to do that? So I think that's why it's not taken off. If there was some sort of service,
does it perform as well? Is it as reliable, like you said? Is there lag? Is it dropping in frames? And
and that's the thing. My experience might be completely different to your experience depending on your internet connection.
Sure.
And that's something that's outside of their control. Obviously, they need to make the service as best as possible their end to pump the service out to you. But if your internet connection isn't fast enough, then
I guess the dream is that you can play on any device anywhere, right? And you don't have to slug around a console where that's actually downloaded onto. You can just pop it on your phone, your laptop, your iPad, you know what I mean? Wherever you are around the world, easily just stream it, and it's, if you've got the connectivity, it will just work. I think that is why.
And that's the thing, right? When we went to Vegas for Brad's wedding, like the internet was so different, hit and miss in different parts of the whole. Like I think in one of the press conferences or demos, someone was traveling and they just took a controller with them. But it's so hit and miss in your experience. You're just going to end up being frustrated if that experience isn't what you expect.
Definitely. Because when you travel, like especially if you're traveling abroad or whatever, like Mark said, like the hotel Wi-Fi isn't the best, and it's not going to be. Like you've got potentially hundreds or thousands of people in there on the same. You ain't going to be able to, and it's not the fastest anyway. I think I went somewhere once and the free Wi-Fi, it was like 2 megabits. And I was like, this is no point. I might as well just not connect to this. You know what I mean? So it's So
it's interesting though. It's interesting to see what will happen if someone does buy out the tech, because obviously they've got tons of server blades with quite powerful hardware capable of running these games. The investment has been huge. So whether they sell that off entirely or they rent it out like an Amazon Web Services type of thing.
Yeah, I can see them more doing that. I don't understand why they will completely sell the technology when it is the future. And it's not like Google are struggling financially and they need that cash. They could just sit on it, but like Microsoft, they could just sit on that. Same with Amazon. They're the free players that have basically invested into this, and they're all trillionaire. And same with Apple will probably enter the race. It's just like they can just sit on their technology for a decade until it's ready. They don't need money now. So I do kind of like the implementation that that Xbox has gone with at the minute. Being able to try a game out and see how it feels before you download it has been quite cool. Okay.
And I believe it's still a beta. It wasn't great when it launched. It's getting better, but being able to jump it, waiting however long for a 70 gig file to download, or jump in, see how it feels, play something with someone. If you haven't got space on your console, that sort of thing, that's quite cool. I quite like the idea of that. Or if you've got an old Xbox One, being able to play a game that doesn't run on it very well. If your internet connection is strong enough, that sort of thing's cool. But I think the technology is still getting there in terms of having a decent experience. And everyone's experience is going to vary so much until broadband just gets better.
Or 5G, 6G, it's completely everywhere, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. But that's my story of Stadia.
That's your story. That's my life story. My next news story is about Nintendo Direct. We had Nintendo announced one last minute, which is a little bit unlike them. And you never know, hit and miss. I go in with these with no expectations whatsoever. And my expectation is always like, if there's one thing I think, okay, that's cool. I'm pleased. because sometimes you get one where there's nothing. And I'd say there's a few here that I was like, okay, cool. Not that I'm probably going to buy any more Nintendo games, I don't think, because my experience with Pokemon is just like, I just don't play my Switch. There's no
point. You start playing Legends then as well now?
I haven't played it for a good week. Yeah. I've been playing Sifu and Destiny.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But yeah, the announcements we'll go through some of them. So we opened it with Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes, which was more of it's Dynasty Warriors, but the Fire Emblem characters from 3 houses, essentially.
Yeah.
They like to roll those out every now and again. So that's coming on the 24th of June this year. Advance Wars, the reboot camp, has now got a date. It's the 8th of April. No Man's Sky is coming to the Switch, which is cool. We remember it's coming this summer. Mario Strikers Battle League, which once again I was like, oh, that sounds quite cool. Soccer or football. Mario has got a release date also, which is the 10th of June. Splatoon 3, and they also showed like the next wave and co-op mode. Still doesn't have an actual date; it just says summer 2022.
Okay, that's quite a big one for them as well, isn't it?
That's a big. Yeah. So they got 2 coming out in the summer: Mario Strikers and Splatoon. And then they announced some games that are basically just being pulled over. So we got Force Unleashed, quite random, is coming over. The Ezio collection, so Assassin's Creed, is also coming over. WB The Show 2022 is also coming over. Kingdom Hearts is also coming over. Portal, which is quite cool, is coming over also, 1 and 2, which is just this year. Kirby, The Forgotten Lands, which is Kirby, obviously just a 3D platformer. If you're into your Nintendo stuff, it just looks like any other. But that actually got a date. That's the 25th of March, which is a big one for them.
Yep.
Nintendo Switch Sports, which is like your Wii Sports, is launching on the 29th of April, 2022. Metro Dread is getting a free update. I think it's getting an easy mode and a hard mode.
Okay.
And that's coming out April, and that's, like I said, free of charge. And Mario Kart 8 Deluxe DLC pack, so it's a booster course pass, and the first wave launches on the 18th of March. Obviously, they're doing these in waves, a bit like what they did with the Smash Bros, where they were adding characters. And from what I gathered from the trailer, they're basically adding every single course that's ever been in Mario Kart ever over the course of the next year. So starting from now all the way through to 2023 or 4, they said they're going to be adding new maps every quarter. I think it's going to be cost around, I think they said like $21 or something like that. So you can obviously translate it wherever you are around the world. But
is that for all of them or per pack?
Yeah, for the per pack.
Yeah, sweet.
And then they closed it with Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Never played one of those, but obviously a big franchise, and it comes out September this year. So
there's a few
I think a pretty decent showcase for them for a last minute thing. Some really good announcements, some updates to some existing games, some first party games, which I think a lot of Nintendo fans are like, where are the games kind of thing. And with that, and obviously Zelda still being rumored to be this year or maybe be pushed to next year.
I think that's the thing that I would have liked to have seen, and there's other people, and I might like Zelda. A release date for that would have been big. I'm really looking forward to Breath of the Wild 2 for lack of another title. I'm looking forward to that. That would have been good. I should go and complete 1 before I play that though. So, I'm surprised they haven't bought like a Switch Sports out already, considering how big Wii Sports was. Yeah, it's crazy. Like it's 5 years. What is it? 5 years down the line, and they've only just done a Switch Sports. But there was some pretty.
It doesn't launch with golf. Golf doesn't come until they said the autumn. So.
Okay. So do we know what sports is going to be in there?
Yeah, so it's football, badminton, tennis, volleyball.
Bikini out for volleyball. Yeah.
Can't remember what else there is. There might be one other one, and I know golf is coming, but it's coming later.
Bowling.
So.
Is there any bowling?
Yeah.
I think there is bowling. Yeah, there is bowling.
Bowling's in it. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So the only ones that are not launching, which was in the original, was boxing and golf.
Yeah.
They haven't mentioned boxing at all, but golf is coming.
I know boxing was quite popular as well, wasn't it? The boxing.
Yeah, so maybe it come later. I'm not sure.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, but yeah, I don't know if I'm going to buy any of those games. I'll buy it. I'll probably get the Mario Kart pack because I quite like Mario Kart. Just jumping on now and again, having it's good when you got mates around and you can just muck about on Mario Kart.
Yep.
I like the fact that they're doing an easy mode on Metroid. I haven't played Metroid yet, but I'll just go to easy mode straight away. So that's good.
Yep.
And yeah, Kirby looks good, but like you say, I'm kind of like you. I don't play my Switch very often.
Yeah.
So
it's just got such Nintendo's games are so like Nintendo for I don't know how to describe it. Maybe when you watch, you're like, that's just a Nintendo game. You got a little puff of smoke when he's running, and it's just like there's like a 3D platformer like any other Nintendo game. If you like those games, you're gonna love it. If you don't, you're not. And I've got 3D Mario's for my Switch and stuff, and I just don't play them.
Yeah, same.
Odyssey as well. Got Odyssey.
Never played. Yeah, I played Odyssey a little bit and I stopped playing.
Got the 3D All-Star Collection. Never finished that. So
Odyssey was amazing. Odyssey was great.
That was good, but I just never played it. I didn't even finish Zelda. I just got a thing about not finishing games on Switch.
Yeah, and Pokemon. You won't finish Pokemon.
No, I won't.
Yeah.
No.
Looks like I'm going to be buying 2 Pokemon games off of here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think I was a little bit surprised with the Nintendo Direct? I think there was some rumors that it was coming before it did, but generally thought some good things. I remember playing the Super Mario Strikers on the GameCube. I think when that was
it was a GameCube one, yeah,
2005 or something like that. And that was quite a lot of fun because it was very, compared to other football games, which tend to be quite serious in comparison. It was it was quite a lot of fun. So I think that'll do well. I think like Brad said, I think Switch Sports is, considering how popular that was, although I think that used to get bundled in quite a lot with the Wii console.
It did, yeah. I think that's why, obviously, it was done so well. And I know they bought out Wii Sports Resort like a little bit down the line. We had a few more games in it. But yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Even that, I think even Wii Sports Resort, that was like a Motion Plus. That came with the Motion Plus add-on. Yeah. So I don't know how many copies they sold versus how many copies were bundled in with the consoles and stuff, but it was very popular. That was the sort of thing that got non-gamers to play games, wasn't it?
I think that was one they always showed in retirement homes, like old people's homes, like them playing, the residents playing like bowling and tennis and all that. And I was like, it's for everyone. It's for grandma as well, and
well, that was the big selling point of the Wii, wasn't it? The motion controls. That was not really too much of a thing before that came along. But
I still remember like, some of the more random games they released on the Switch. There was a Wii exclusive Dead Space. It was on rail shooter, and I was like, you don't think of being a Dead Space game being on. And I think they even released maybe 1 or 2, definitely one like Call of Duty on there. I can't remember what Call of Duty it was. Call of Duty 2.
World of War? Was it World of War?
No, World of War. I think it was Call of Duty 2. I think that went on to the Wii.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to have to Google it because I think it was kind of like an offshoot of a mainline one to take advantage of the controls.
It the Big Red 1? I know, because I know they done that with there was a Call of Duty Big Red 1. I know that was on the PlayStation 2.
Okay.
On there, but I'm not too sure. But again, I'm like you, Reece. I mean, the same as you. I don't play my Switch. I haven't even. I've lived in where I live now for over a year, and I've not even bothered to set it up. I carted it all the way to the other side of the world. I didn't play it once. It's just
same.
You think on a plane, that's when you would, if you're traveling, you would play it. But I just don't. But I will Zelda. I love Zelda. Zelda, I would say the 2 games I played the most, well, top 3, Mario, probably The Witcher, then Zelda, then Mario Kart. And Zelda, when I was into it, I used to like play it on the TV in the dock, and then when my wife or whatever come in and watch TV, I just undock it and play it handheld. So I do love the Switch. I love the idea of the Switch.
So
I just don't play the Switch.
yeah, we're absolutely in the same boat.
Yeah.
I know I really like Zelda as well, and I will buy it. I won't beat it.
Yeah, but
I know I'm not. I'll give it a few good hours into it, and then I'll be like, what's the next PlayStation game coming out? And I'll be jumping back into that.
Before I chime in about Zelda, very quickly, I've just had a look. Call of Duty. It turns out there was quite a lot of mainline editions for the Wii. However, it was like Call of Duty Modern Warfare Reflex Edition.
Okay.
Things like that. But yeah, they released quite a few. Black Ops, Modern Warfare 3 was on there. Zelda, I think I don't know if they're holding that back, because I don't know what's going to happen with E3 this year, in terms of, I know that's been dying a death the last few years, but it's still June around E3 time. It tends to be when everyone announces their sort of their tent pole things, which is I would imagine if we're going to get an update on Zelda, that would be roughly the time we do. And that, I mean, my Switch is fundamentally a Zelda machine anyway. It's the primary reason I got one. I sunk so many hours into Breath of the Wild. I absolutely love that game, and I think I'll probably sink the same amount of hours into the next one.
I will. I'm really looking forward to it. That's when I will dust my Switch off.
Unless I can't. Sorry, go on.
I was going to say, unless I buy Pokemon, it will.
I can't play that handheld either. I need to play that on a TV. I played a bit of Breath of the Wild like in handheld mode, but the screen's too small. It's a I was going to say desktop, but it's definitely an experience that you need to play on TV, a big screen.
Yeah.
I pretty much play my Switch exclusively just in handheld. I never.
I like handheld. I do like the handheld mode. Yeah, I'd say I'd play 90% handheld, 10% dock. I'd say. Yeah, but,
I'm not a fan of the screen on the Switch. Maybe I've not played the OLED one. Maybe that would change my
that probably would. The bigger, nicer screen. Yeah. I would probably get one because I do play it handheld, but the reason why I haven't is just because I just don't play it enough.
Well, I would get one, but I also feel that the Switch is overdue a refresh for something a little bit more powerful now. Anyway, 5 years in, I think I don't know if we would have heard something before now if there wasn't a sort of global chip shortage, but I think Nintendo also historically haven't been, the most pro consumer when it comes to updating hardware just before something new and bigger and shiny comes.
They did that with the DSs, don't they? Like, run out every 2 years.
So new CPU, new GPU. But I would. I think I'd hold off at this point. Considering I play more on the TV than handheld anyway.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, cool. Cool.
Pretty good direct.
One of their better ones.
Definitely.
And hopefully their next ones, which I'm sure will be the E3 window one, the June one, wherever they called it. Obviously it'll be digital, whatever, but hopefully we see Zelda then. So
definitely. My next news story is, if I can find it, where is it? Okay, so it's answering a lot of people's questions. It is Microsoft confirms Activision Blizzard will release games beyond existing agreements. So obviously when Microsoft acquired Activision Blizzard, everyone was like, oh my God, does this mean Call of Duty is not going to be on PlayStation anymore? For me, I didn't care because I don't play Call of Duty no more. But and we all had our own theories. It was like, maybe Warzone will stay multi-platform, but the main release games will be exclusive. But no, so this is from IGN. Microsoft just confirmed Call of Duty and other popular Activision Blizzard titles will not just be released on PlayStation to honor existing contracts, but beyond existing agreements and into the future. In a piece published to explain how the company will adapt to gain regulatory approval for its Activision takeover, President Brad Smith, that's a great name, Brad, addressed concerns that popular games will no longer be available on competing consoles. To be clear, Microsoft will continue to make Call of Duty and other popular Activision Blizzard titles available on PlayStation through the term of any existing agreement with Activision. And we have committed to Sony that we will also make them available on PlayStation beyond the existing agreement and into the future, so that Sony fans can continue to enjoy the games they love, which kind of makes sense because they'd be just like blocking themselves from getting a lot of money. So
yeah, I've changed my mind. I think originally when this news came out and we did an episode a few weeks ago, and my mind was trying to change after the Bungie thing, and after Bungie was saying they were going to stay on everything, and I just kind of thought it pays for these online multiplayer games, especially with cross-play, to remain on every single platform. It's a better experience, and probably what it will be is it will be on Game Pass, so free, but you would have to pay 60-70 pounds on PlayStation.
Yeah,
I think that is essentially what it's going to be. And the same with Destiny. It will be free on Spartacus, Infinity, where it's going to be called on PlayStation. But if you want to play it, you have to buy the expansions on Xbox and PC.
Yeah.
I think that is what it'll be.
And that's why it's the best of both ways. There's still an incentive to go over to Xbox and get the Game Pass, but you're still getting the people like yourself who don't have an Xbox gear to play. Vice versa, some people will be like, okay, I'll invest in PlayStation and get it on that. And then Xbox players are they're still getting their money from them because, like you said, they pay for that. That as a strategy makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I think so.
So yeah, it looks like all these big takeovers. Like the only one so far, the big one is for me is Bethesda. They did say no, they are exclusive to us now.
Yeah, the single player games probably will be.
But Bethesda games are nowhere near as they don't generate near as much money as Call of Duty, so it kind of that makes sense. Yeah, it didn't. Yeah, they'd be cutting their nose off to spite their face if they did kind of make it exclusive.
Do they do that with? I don't know if you guys can confirm. Is Elder Scrolls Online and Fallout 76 are their DLC packs free on Game Pass? I take it they are. So it is basically they're already doing that with their online games with Bethesda, right? Because you have to pay for them on PlayStation. They're still there, but they're free.
That's a great question. I believe so. I can double check quick, but
I mean, because they're already doing it, right?
Yeah. There were some games on Games Pass where the game is on Games Pass. The incentive is that you get the game at no cost, but then DLCs and add-on bits you pay for. But I think that's third-party stuff.
Yeah. It would be a little bit strange if like the latest expansion of Elder Scrolls Online was you had to pay for it on Xbox, right? Surely that's just part of Game Pass now.
Now I'm not so sure. Do you pay for the Battle Pass in Halo when that's the thing?
Yeah, you do pay. I think you pay for the Battle Pass.
Yeah. So yeah, okay, yeah.
Okay.
Greedy bastards.
But I think that when I was on last time when we were talking about this as the news was new. I think it just gives bargaining chips. So I know Sony have got agreements with different studios where if a game is going to be cross-platform, if Sony believe that they're losing money because it's cross-platform, there's a kind of Sony cross-platform tax, isn't there? I think this gives Microsoft bargaining power to sort of circumvent things like that. We'll keep it on your there'll be new agreements drawn up. They'll still get their 30% cut or whatever the cut is for having it on their console, but it allows them to go back and negotiate different things. And the same with Sony keeping Bungie games and bits and pieces cross-platform.
Yeah.
So much behind the scenes stuff, right?
There might be a big row, and then they're like, guess what? You're not getting Call of Duty now, and then well, you're not getting Bungie. You're not getting Destiny, so never know. Might be some drama.
Yeah. I think slightly different contracts. I think Microsoft have got a lot more power over Activision than what Sony has over Bungie. It seems like, and Bungie don't play well with big corporate companies, do they? They got out of the Microsoft deal, they got out of the Activision deal, and now they got into bed with Sony. So they seem like a little bit of a brats, like, don't tell us what to do. It's our game. We
do what we want to do. So
exactly, they seem to walk away from everybody. So we'll see how long this relationship lasts with Sony.
Yeah, but
they'll get their movie and they'll be like, "Oh, we're out." Bye.
Yeah, at the moment it's all very amicable. So yeah, it's good. It's good for the consumer. They can just still carry on playing the games on what their preferred platform. So
yeah,
it's
it makes you then think. Those 10 live service games that Sony's promised until I think it was 2025, 2026, whatever. I wonder if any of those will actually come to Xbox as like chargeable and obviously free on or a part of their subscription.
Yeah.
That would be an interesting thing to see, a world where, I don't know, Last of Us Factions is on Xbox as a £70 game, but free. Do you know what I mean? It's unlikely that any Naughty Dog game will ever be on, but we are entering the realm where that could be a possibility, where crossplay is a thing and you're playing some form of Naughty Dog multiplayer over.
Yeah.
I think it just depends on how many, like in a year or so, 2 years, how many consoles are out there. If I think it's still probably something like 2-1 PS5s to Xboxes that are being sold, or if that trend continues, if that changes and Xbox somehow take a lead, which I very much doubt, but if something like that happens, then it just depends on where the money is, right? Where the install base is.
Yeah.
If it makes financial sense, then do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of like Microsoft have done with Minecraft. The amount of kids that have got a PlayStation, it just makes sense to have that there.
Yeah. Yeah. That's almost similar to what they're doing with Bungie now, isn't it? Right? It's like almost like a separate thing. Mojang is still like almost a separate publisher, right? I think it still comes up with Mojang. It doesn't say Xbox or Microsoft Studios or whatever it does for the first party stuff. It still says Mojang whenever I play Minecraft. It's almost like it's a separate thing.
Oh no, it still comes up Microsoft Game Studios.
Oh, does it really? Okay, I haven't played Minecraft for a while.
Yeah.
Last time I saw it, I thought it still said Mojang, but okay, yeah, cool. We'll see what happens. Oh, you're right there, Brad.
Yeah,
shame these video users can't see your crutch right now. Just move the camera.
I'm just turning my monitor on.
All right, lovely.
Yeah, I didn't think you'd be able to see. I wasn't trying to show you, like, look at this exclusive. That wasn't the idea.
Yeah,
and the Part-Time Players podcast is also available on OnlyFans.
Yeah. Yeah. Bonus content. Yeah. Oh, here we go. That's done.
My last news story is we've got a upcoming software update for PS5 and PS4. They are in their beta forms at the moment, and I did actually get access to it. Sony similar email saying, do you want to partake? And I was like, yeah, why not? So I've downloaded it, and it's very, very similar. Just, I don't know, some quality of life changes, which I think are quite good. They've updated the menu for the game-based thing to make it a little bit more streamlined, a little bit easier. I'm sure if Brad Moore was on the podcast, he'll be quite pleased about it. They've separated almost like you've got these things called open parties, where anybody can come in. So you don't have to create these, like, I don't know, closed parties where you invite people in and only those people can actually join. You can have things where it's a little bit more open, a bit like how it was with PS4, where anybody can join and leave, which is quite nice. They've also opened up the cross-play feature. So I believe recently they did add it so you can do it on PS4 now. So they've just introduced that. And also you don't have to do it with just exclusive with people that are in your party as well. So in the open parties, you can just share your screen with anybody, essentially, which is quite nice. That it was restricted to just people in that closed party. Volume change. You can now update the volume of individual people in the party now as well, which is a nice feature, which they added to people in the PS4 and PS5. Like I said, the menu's changed, so it's got all the logos on the side now. It's hard to describe. You kind of almost got to see it. But the little menus on the side, you have your friends, you have parties, and then you have messages, and they've separated them into 3 separate little tabs on the left-hand side. It looks a lot better. It's a lot easier to use. I think it was a little bit like put all into one before, and a lot of people found it a little bit tricky. Although I did get used to it, to be honest with you. It's got a new little tab on your games that says keep in home. So it stays in the home menu. So like when it gets to the end, it drops into your library. You can have things where it just pins it to the front, which I think is quite nice. I imagine eventually we'll get folders or something like that. And they've also increased the amount of games you can have on your home screen to 14 games now.
Right.
So I did notice that there are a lot smaller icons because I've got like a lot more listed on my screen. Probably the biggest change I noticed was that they've added an app next to the PlayStation Store, which is PS Plus, which I think will eventually become the subscription thing. And they've actually made it its dedicated thing. It's been stripped out of the store and it's got its own app right on the left-hand side.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, you're preparing for that, because why have you got PS Plus got its own app on that? So I think that's the start of the subscription, whether it's still going to be called PS Plus or it'll be updated to PlayStation Affinity or whatever it's going to be called. The other feature is they've changed how trophies and the list looks. It's got like new fonts and colors and things like that. And it has a trophy tracker system that comes up on your cards, which I think is quite cool. And you can have them pinned to your screen where you can track your trophies that you're doing and stuff like that while you're still playing. So yeah, there's some really nice quality of life stuff if you're into your trophies and different things. So yeah, I think it's nice. It's good stuff.
When does it come? When's it getting released? The actual update?
I don't know. Must be soon because they put it into beta.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. If I'm honest with you, I don't know.
Okay. Well, yeah, I'll just.
They've introduced voice command as well. It's another feature which is only available in US and UK. I haven't tried it personally, but you can now do that. So
apparently that works quite well so far. The voice commands, from what I've seen and heard.
Yeah, I haven't tried it myself, but yeah, that's the feature. I was on the PS4 and I never did on that either.
No, I never used it. No. Voice control technology has got a lot better over the years because it used to be absolute crap. Like, but it
is a lot better.
Yeah, Alexa, she's constantly listening to you, but you can, if you ask it to do something, it does it. So it's a trade-off.
Microsoft, they went really hard, didn't they, on the Xbox One with Connect?
Yeah. Oh yeah, of course they did. Yeah.
Xbox on, Xbox this, Xbox volume up, Xbox TV.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, my PlayStation will just update it, and then I'll probably notice a difference. So
I think that's one of the things I look forward to. Quite a lot when I think about the Xbox One, for example. The user interface that was on that when it launched is completely different. Like that got changed multiple times. So the PlayStation doesn't tend to change that much. Yeah. You get the quality of life stuff, but they tend to stick with the design, whereas the Xbox, I think, has changed quite a bit. So I believe the Series X and S will. Right now, it looks like the same as the Xbox One, but that will change multiple times throughout its lifespan, I'm sure.
Yeah. That's one of the things that I imagine I would have been a little bit disappointed by, that it was the same, because it's one of the nice things when you get a new console that it's a new UI and new software and stuff. It's like a shiny, yeah. That's one of the things which takes off the shine when you get like a new iPhone, and it's like, because you do the iCloud transfer over, you're like, oh, it's exact same as my other phone.
They changed that with the 360 generation. They changed it a lot when it went from like blades, like 5 blades, to how it was when it finished with like you have your avatars and all that. So yeah, I can imagine them changing it more. So I just find the
360 like 3 or 4 times.
It's the PlayStation, the Xbox user interface I find very confusing because I just don't play it a lot. So yeah, I just being thick, probably. But like I download, like if I'm downloading something, I'm like, where is it? And then it's just
you're me in reverse with the PlayStation, because I go to that so infrequently. It's just what you get used to, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm just used to. Yeah, I'm used to the PlayStation. I'm a PlayStation user now. So yeah, it's although I mean, it's all right. Yeah, I can navigate it enough to play the games I want to play. So
I would absolutely be lost with an Xbox. I have no idea what I'd be doing. Yeah, I don't even know what the UI really looks like. I know it's the tiles, but I would not have a clue how to do anything, to be honest with you. So
yeah, well, maybe you will buy an Xbox one day. So
yeah, one day.
Just get an S. Just get an S. You know what? S's are actually better than the X. So
I don't think so. No. I would, if I was going to get one, it would be the X. and it's probably going to be Starfield will be the game that sucks me in. So at the end of the year,
I think both. Like I've got both of them, and they are in like the S is just insanely good value, and the X is. I don't think many games where they're written for previous gen and they're just upgrades of previous gen games at the moment really take advantage of how powerful that is. But
yeah, it definitely doesn't. Same as the PS5, and even like utilizing the controller. Obviously, we're going to go into Sifu in a sec, but actually playing a game that's like a native PS5 game, and there's like the opening mission. It's raining, and you can feel the patterns on the bottom of the controller again, a bit like in Astrobot, and you're this controller is so cool. I forgot that. I haven't played a game that does that for so long, and it's just like, I can't wait to play actual PS5 games that use this controller because it's so cool. It's really cool.
Yeah, it does. It does. You kind of take it for granted when you're playing it. When I do play something on the PS5, it does make the Xbox controller feel pretty soulless and lifeless.
Yeah,
in comparison.
Yeah. No, it is their special feature. That's one of the reasons why I can't wait to play Horizon, because I imagine that's going to utilize a lot of the outside just the bow. Obviously, the bow is quite obvious how that's going to be used with the tension, but I'm hoping there is like you feel things when you're going through like the forest, or it does rain, or when you are in the water and you splash in. I'm expecting there to be some form of immersion interaction with the controller.
Yeah.
I would be a little bit disappointed if there's not, because why would it not be?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And Leviathan Axe and God of War, how good that already felt good in the PS4 controller. What are they going to do with the PS5 controller? That thing's going to feel incredible.
Yeah, I'm looking. Both of those games. They should take advantage of the DualSense, because it is such a great control. When you first started playing Astrobot, and it's just really just showcasing what he can do.
Yeah,
it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
They need to make a standalone Astrobot game. That's what they need to do.
It's coming, mate. It's coming.
Yeah. And I think Astrobot should be the PlayStation. Like, this should be the PlayStation mascot. Like, because
he's kind of is. It was the demo for the PS5. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think it should. And it was like an anniversary the other day of Final Fantasy VII re-release, like original release, like obviously back in the day, and PlayStation put up the bit from Astrobot where you see the Astrobots with the big sword. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, no, I remember seeing that bit. I was like, oh wow, that's so cool. Just all the little scenes were good.
Fairly intimidating when Astrobot is this cute little friendly fella, and he's opposite Master Chief and I don't know, a chainsaw from Gears.
Yeah,
but
different messaging, I suppose.
Yeah.
Even Last of Us, Ellie, just all bloody next to her, and just
Yeah, well, he can't use Crash anymore. Crash has gone Spyro, so
he hasn't been a mascot for a while, has he? Really?
No.
Rubbish, what do you think of when you think of PlayStation? Who is the mascot?
It's mad how that's changed in your head mentally over the years, because it used to be Lara Croft, and for me anyway, it used to be Lara Croft and Spyro and Crash.
Yeah,
and now I'd probably think straight away of Drake and from Uncharted.
Yeah,
Kratos,
yeah. And for some reason, Sackboy.
Sackboy. PS3 era, he was definitely a mascot.
Yeah. If I picture going into a game, Sackboy was everywhere. PS3 era.
Yeah, I've got a Sackboy mug. So
okay,
I actually ain't seen it in a while.
Well done.
I might not have it anymore. Actually, it's gone. I think
would it be Spider-Man now? Do people think Spider-Man? They think PlayStation.
I think you think Spider-Man. You think PlayStation. I wouldn't associate. If I saw Spider-Man, I wouldn't think PlayStation. I'd just think Spider-Man.
Yeah, sure.
So I think Sackboy's a good shout. Astrobot, I think, but Kratos, like we said.
Yeah, Kratos is definitely a big one.
It's a G.
Yeah, Bloodborne character guy. A lot of people like him. You see him in a lot of images. Aloy, of course. Yeah, they've got a lot of
a car from Gran Turismo, just a car.
Yeah,
I think the thing I was going to say Gran Turismo, that used to be like one of those things where you think, that's definitely a play, but they're so infrequent now. I think I think for like Xbox and Forza are probably overtaken in terms of not the quality, because when Gran Turismo does come out, like they're insanely like good if you're into racing games. But Forza is, I think Xbox is kind of where I'd go to play a car game at the moment, a racing game or car game.
Yeah, no, that's where the benchmark is at. Definitely, I agree with that.
Definitely.
Yeah, they are the market leader in terms of races and things like that. Car racing games, anyway. But they've got multiple studios working on Forza, don't they? They have like 2-3 different ones that take it in turns, where literally it's just the one dedicated studio that makes GT.
Yeah, we've got the two branches of Forza. You've got the arcadey racer in the Horizon series, and then the motorsport is your more serious sim. But
yeah. Xbox have got so many studios now, with obviously now Activision and Bethesda, that they can probably, if they time it right and they actually manage their studios properly, they could probably release like a AAA game every 2 months, essentially, right? Like
when you
on
think
loop,
about it,
like every 2 months, you could like it's insane.
It's nuts, and to think what it's going to look like with Games Pass in a couple of years' time. It's just going to be
yeah. They just need to manage it properly. That's the only thing where they haven't quite managed their studios properly so far, and now they've got a lot more to manage. Whether or not they can do it is where they succeed or not. We'll see.
This is where I need to get a "In Phil We Trust" T-shirt.
You trust him,
Phil. Come on, Phil.
Yeah,
the man can do no wrong.
Yep,
the man can do no wrong.
Mate, we'll see about that. Should we go on to what we've been playing this week?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yours is a big one. I've only, as I say, I've only been playing a little bit of Spider-Man. So Miles Morales. That's my game that I've been playing. You've played a new release, haven't you?
Yeah, I've been playing Sifu. I take it you haven't played it, Mark?
No, not yet. No. I am going to grab that though, because I've watched quite a bit of coverage on YouTube, and I love the look of it.
Yeah, so did I. It's so cool. Have you seen any gameplay or anything of it, Brad?
Yeah, I've seen gameplay. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. I've seen like a bit where you can like incorporate like some of the like environmental factors like bottles and like they use them as weapons. It does look good, yeah. Like the whole art style of it looks really interesting.
Yeah.
But I didn't jump in. What's it like? Is it good? What's the gameplay? Is it difficult? I'll take it like it's satisfying, like the actual combat. Yeah,
I would say it's a good game. It's not bad. It's not great. It's not a masterpiece, but I'd say it's good. I'm really enjoying it. It's not easy. I was a little bit silly, and I didn't watch the tutorial stuff properly.
Yeah,
and this is a game where you need to master the controls and the buttons. Because if you don't, you're not blocking and parrying properly, and enemies hit you, you die.
Yeah.
Like it is, they're aggressive and they're unforgivable, and you'll get 2, maybe 3 people try and punch and kick you at once, and you need to be like blocking, and you need to be pressing like L1 and like to the direction of where they're hitting you to like block it and stuff, and you can then counter. So it's not just like you're just doing a button press, bit like an Arkham game where it's a little bit more simpler. Yeah. You do need to literally be pressing a button and then directing where you want to be blocking, so it's a little bit more complex in that way. However, the one thing that you need in like this type of game is the combat needs to feel good, and it does. That's what they've nailed. It's fast and fluid, and when you get those combos right and you are blocking, it almost is like a fantasy thing, almost like kung fu, if you're into those type of films or movies. And there is a scene in the first mission where I don't know if you guys seen Daredevil. Like I think it's in season 1 where he's in like the corridor. I think it's like one of the last episodes. And there's this thing where the camera turns from like behind you, so it turns to the side, so you can see all the enemies lining up. And if you get that right, it is so cool. You're just like beating them up. You're picking up this bat. You're smashing them around the face, and you're fighting like 3 people at once. It's really, really, really cool and satisfying if you do it right. Yeah.
If has it got like a good story? Is there any?
It's John Wick. Is the best way to describe it. Yeah. These gangs have killed your family, and you're on a revenge mission to kill everybody. Eventually, basically. Another interesting aspect of it is the death system. So when you die, you age. So you start at 20 years old, and then when you die, depending on how many times you die. So when you die for the first time, you go to 21.
Yeah.
If you die again, so you then got 2 deaths, your age will go up by 2, and it will keep going up like that. So depending on how many times you died, it will add on to your age. And basically, it's game over when you get to age 80, basically. You can drop that death count by killing the person that killed you. And you get XP, so you can obviously upgrade skills and abilities whenever you do die. It comes up with a menu and stuff like that. And your age carries over to the next mission. So in order to like almost beat the game, you need to get to like the following mission at a lower age. And I got to like the 2nd level, but I'm like in my 50s. And so I'm near the boss. So I've only got, and my kill count is like, rolls over. So it's like on like 7 or something like that.
Yeah.
So I'm literally going to like 57, 70s, and then I'm dead. Like I've only got like 3 lives basically.
Yeah.
And it also adds that your health is weak, but you do more damage when you get older as well.
Right. Okay.
So there's things like that, and certain unlocks also lock when you get to a certain age. So once you get into your 30s or 40s, you can't unlock certain skills, or I don't know. There's 7
pretty
things.
Cool. It's a really good. That's a different way of.
It's really cool. It's an interesting
really
way
good,
of doing the kill system and how to be. So I'm gone back to the first mission because I've got to try and beat that and still try and be in my 20s, really. Yeah. Because I'm in my 50s, so I'm a bit old to be fighting this guy. So.
Yeah, no, I think I'll give it. Sorry, go on, Ruth.
No, I was just saying that it sounds really cool. Right.
I'm probably gonna pick that up this week and give it a go. I think it's only 33 quid, which I'm surprised about because I was expecting another £60 game. But
it's well worth it for that price as well. Dual sense support, so you can feel the triggers and things like that when you're fighting. It's they did confirm that they are bringing out an easy and hard modes. So if you did want that easier mode to slip through, or you did want more of a challenge, they are introducing those, which I think is a really, really good thing for people that want that variability. But it's not like a Dark Souls or even Returnal where it feels like, oh wow, it's literally just need to know the buttons and concentrate, because if you're not and you're not playing properly, you can't get through it. You do need to play and know what you're doing. But it's fun. It's really fun.
It's really good. It sounds really good. Hopefully, I'll play it if it ever comes on PlayStation Plus. That's all.
There's a high chance that it'll be on the subscription service when they launch that. I would imagine maybe not day one, but I can see it. Being on there.
Maybe. Cool.
Yeah.
That's so really cool. Mark, you been playing anything?
So as I mentioned before, I've been playing The Witcher 3, but I also jumped back into Apex Legends as they've got a new season that's just started on there, a new character that you can buy or unlock, which I haven't done, but no, jump back into that. It's again one of those games that I can pick up and play a few rounds when I know I've got half hour. But
the amount of hours you've sunk into that game, you could definitely play Destiny.
yeah, it's true. It's just broken up. It's like even if you're doing well and you win around, it's like 20, 25 minutes sort of thing. But I've been playing quite a bit of that. Enjoying that. Yeah. Won a few games as well, which is always nice.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
You beat Guardians. You thoroughly enjoyed it. Was it good?
Yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy was incredible. I didn't know really what to expect before I played that. I know I'm in the small minority of people that enjoyed Avengers. I thought there was a chance it might have felt a little bit like that. It doesn't. It doesn't. It feels like a very different game. And I love the universe that they've built in that.
Yeah,
it feels really it feels really fleshed out. I love the story, and how they've kind of tied it in with the wider sort of Marvel universe as well.
Yeah, no, I thought it was really, really good as well. I played it, and I'm the other person. There's only like 3 people who was into Avengers, and me and Mike were 2 of them. So we represent Avengers well, and it's really, really sad to see that game has got Anthem death written all over it. It's done. I think.
Yeah, 100%.
There's rumors that it's going to get for She-Hulk, but that's not going to do anything. And
no,
yeah, it's going to be done.
No, even having that on Game Pass, I don't think has done much.
No,
but
some PS Now as well. I think.
Yeah. So, I think.
They can't give it away for free, apparently.
Even then, people don't want to play it.
Like, even if it went free to play, just like without the subscriptions, I still don't think it would save it at this point. It's kind of done.
Yeah.
Too many mistakes, too much of a bad reputation. So
Guardians was good. My only criticism of it, which I think a few people online have echoed, is just that some of the enemy types, just the weird blobby things that float, or cubes or whatever they are.
Oh yeah.
Some of those were a little bit repetitive and too simple, but yeah, it makes up for it tons with the story and the rest of it. So really
I think the dynamics between the characters, which kind of makes Guardians, I think, not outside the game but in the films as well. I've never didn't know much about Guardians before the films, to be honest, but I love the films just because of their relationships between each other, and they absolutely nailed this in the game.
The voice acting is very good. The animation and the motion capture is incredible, actually. And you're always going to struggle, I think, with when you've got like the off-brand versions of characters that are famous in films. But you don't feel like you're at any disadvantage with this. And the way it sort of works with Mantis in the story is that there's just so many different versions of them in different universes, and so it feels like it's part of the wider Marvel universe, which is very cool if you're into that.
Cool. I do want to play that. I will put that up at some point because my brother Ash is on the podcast. He's got it. He says it's really good. So
it's not super long either, so you can you can power through it.
No, definitely.
You would definitely like it. Single player, story driven, Marvel. Brad Seeley game, definitely.
Yeah, got Brad Seeley written all over it.
Yeah, starts me.
Yeah, cool. That's
okay.
Game stuff.
Yeah, we're back to TV now. I'm sick of those talking about games.
Yeah,
talking about it for an hour. You've had people that wanted video games. You've had your time.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about Boba Fett or not? It's up to you.
No, we'll save it for another week. We'll wait for Mark to watch, and we'll do a little thoughts in season 1.
Well, I'm happy to jump off at this point if you want to talk about Boba Fett.
But to be fair, I think it's quite a long one because we were talking about TV for about half an hour before we started talking about video games. So it's
already quite a long podcast. We kind of plan the podcast and think, we forget how longer it is when there's like a third or fourth.
Yeah.
When it's just two people talking, you get through things a lot. It's basically Mark. He didn't shut up. That's what I was saying.
Mark,
but welcome back to the podcast, Mark.
Thanks. I feel really welcome.
Yep, absolutely, always welcome.
We'll do it. And when everyone's watched it, and maybe if Ash is on as well, because he's watching it, we can do like a little whole series retrospective or something along those lines.
Yeah, we'll do that in a while. Yep, and next week our episode would definitely be about Horizon. Yep. So we'll be definitely, can't believe I'm saying that we'll be playing it. So can't wait. I'll be jumping in. I'm sure Bradley Seeley will. And hopefully we'll get Mark's take on Zero Dawn, and maybe you've played Forbidden West also. We'll see.
I'm not going to make any strict commitments on getting to the New Horizon, but fine. I will definitely try and be in a position where I can
talk about Zero Dawn.
I can know what you're talking about.
With
Zero Dawn. I think I got halfway through it last time. So
you know who Zavala is, right?
What? No. Yes.
No, I was trying to make like a really loose reference. Saying actor that plays is Zavala in Destiny.
Lance Reddick is his name.
Yes. Zavala.
Cool. Well, that's it then this week, guys. Thanks to everyone who's listening and got through the half hour of us talking about TV shows and
great chat.
Games. As Reece said at the top of the show, please follow us on our social medias: Facebook, Instagram, PT Plaz Pod. comment and just send us any like DMs or whatever if you want to get in touch with the show. We've got an email address which is pdplayerspod@gmail.com. All that stuff. Leave a review and a nice 5-star. And just
and watch out for our OnlyFans launching soon.
Yeah,
pictures of Brad's crotch.
Oh no one wants to see this. No one.
Mate, we've got the footage. Some recorded.
Oh my god.
Mate.
Yeah. This is bad. But we'll end it there, I think.
Yep.
Yeah. Thank you.
Until next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.